Good evening, everyone. I'm Brignola, and tonight we'll be discussing the wild Jets vs. Bengals game, the ongoing gambling scandal in the NBA, and the Luka Doncic injury that may haunt the Lakers. I'm Brignola, and this is the Hall Zone. The Jets were able to capture their first win of the season in their latest match against the Bengals. The beginning of the game seemed to be leaning in the Bengals' favor, with consistent efforts putting Cincinnati ahead 17-10 by the second quarter. Coming out of halftime, the Jets were facing an 11-point deficit until a field goal by Nick Folk helped alleviate the gap to score. Despite a slightly rocky start, the Jets were able to gain leverage over the Cincinnati Bengals in the fourth quarter with only a minute and 55 seconds left. Running back Breece Hall completed a pass to tight end Mason Taylor for a Jets touchdown, pushing the final score to 39-38. This now puts the Jets at a record of 1-7. Jets receiver Allen Lazard shared his feelings on the euphoric win for the team. He stated, end quote, "It was beautiful. It was such a wholesome moment for everyone in the organization. We've been waiting a long time for this," end quote. This win comes with the tragic passing of Jets legend Nick Mangold, who lost his life on Saturday, October 25th, after an intense battle with chronic kidney disease. Moving on to a bad beat for the NBA, multiple people have been arrested in the association with the recently unveiled gambling operations within the NBA. Notable figures involved in this scandal include the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Chauncey Billups, as well as Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier. Billups' charges detail his involvement in an underground poker scheme that allegedly cheated other participants out of an esteemed $7 million. Meanwhile, Rozier is facing accusations for exploitive private information to others regarding his playing status in order for them to win money by betting on player props. Prosecutors claim that these illegal poker games were fronted by multiple mafia families. New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said in a statement, quote, "This complex scheme was so far-reaching that it included members from 4 of the organized crime families. When people refused to pay because they were cheated, these defendants do what organized crime has always done, use threats and violence," end quote. Both men are facing serious criminal charges, with Billups scheduled to appear in court on November 24th and Rozier on December 8th.
Welcome back to the Pirates Perspective. I'm Tyler Seabreeze,
Cameron Price,
and Gabriel Garcia, and today we'll be asking the students of Seton Hall who are their favorite athletes and why, and also if these athletes should be being paid these large contracts.
Who am I here with?
My name's Will Bell.
And who is your favorite athlete and why?
I think Tiger Woods, just because his determination to always get the job done, to win, and the amount of time he put into training to consistently get better.
And should these athletes be getting paid these large amounts of money?
I think they deserve the amount of money that they're being paid. They're putting time into their career. They're putting time into their craft. They're making effort on and off the field to just take care of their bodies and constantly pursue the highest level that they can.
Here with today,
Jack?
who's your favorite athlete and why?
My favorite athlete has to be Jason Kelsey for the Philadelphia Eagles. I've always liked him. He's always, I played center for flag football, and he's just always been my favorite Eagle, just all the time.
And then, do athletes deserve these large contracts, or why do they not?
I think, honestly, I don't think so, because, especially with baseball contracts, I feel like they get paid way too much, and it gets to a certain point where it's like, okay, why do they need to be paid this much? I don't think they need to be paid the amount of money that they do. It's great that they do, but I don't think it's necessary.
NBA star Luka Doncic is reportedly facing trouble with an injury following the Lakers' past game with the Timberwolves. Sources told ESPN that the 26-year-old is experiencing a left finger sprain and a lower left contusion. This is a big hit to the Lakers, who were already facing off without LeBron James due to his own problems with sciatica. It's possible that the absence of both these star players could cause worry concerning the team's performance. But the Lakers overpowered the Sacramento Kings, with Austin Reeves stepping up to rally 51 points for his team. Doncic is expected to miss at least a week due to his combination of injuries. The Lakers seem optimistic about his return, expecting him to be back in the lineup soon. We're wishing him a fast recovery, but in the meantime, coming up, we have Anchor Point, the official debate show of the Hall Zone. I'm Paul Brignola. Stay tuned for more.
All right, who am I here with today?
Matthew Swanee.
All right, Matthew, who is your favorite athlete and why?
Right now, it's Malik Neighbors, only because I feel like when he got drafted, it started to turn around the Giants, and they're my favorite team. And this year, I know he's out, but I feel we have more promising people like Jackson and Cam. So honestly, when Malik comes back, I think we're going to be in a really good spot.
Okay. And do you think these athletes should be paid large amounts of money or no?
I think, honestly, the amount of money athletes get paid is ridiculous, but I think he deserves it because I love him. So, yeah, definitely.
Who is your favorite athlete and why?
Jalen Hurts, because he's just a winner. That's all he does. Puts out a winning product on the football field, and he's fun to watch.
Should these athletes be paid this large amount?
I'd say yes, because the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar league. They have a lot of money to go around, and these guys put out, so much for their team.
Hello everyone and welcome to Anchor Point. My name is Tyler Seabreeze and our debaters today will be Jay Costa and Will Gilhooly. Today, first, I'm going to start with Will and I'm going to ask, who's your MVP so far in the NFL?
Right now, my MVP would hands down have to be Daniel Jones of the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, like a lot of people would say that's quite vague going best player on the best team. I know Jonathan Taylor has seen a lot of the action. 12 touchdowns on the year from Taylor is quite impressive. However, Daniel Jones has been the focal point of this offense. He's mustered 13 touchdowns, including 4 on the ground. He's got the second best passer rating in the NFL at 79.3. And not to mention, the Indianapolis Colts were projected this season to have 4 wins, and he has already led them to a 7-1 record. I mean, who in the world would have thought that coming into the season, the Colts, with a receiving core of Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and Alec Pierce, with Pierce and Josh Downs missing considerable amounts of time. Pierce just got back off the injury list, and Josh Downs played his first game back last week also. With honestly a pretty mid-receiving core, Daniel Jones has been incredible. 4th in the league in passing yards with 2,062. He has been incredible throughout this year. The Colts have the highest points per game out of any team in the NFL. They have the most yards per game out of anyone in the NFL. They have the best offensive line. Daniel Jones has completely taken this team to new heights after the failed experiment with Anthony Richardson, which left the Colts completely questioning where they go. I mean, the Colts were in conversation for the number 1 pick heading into this season, and because of Daniel Jones, his incredible play on the field, he has led the Colts to new heights that they have not seen since 2008. And it is strange talking about this after the exit Daniel Jones made last year with the New York Giants, but Daniel Jones is fully in the MVP conversation, and the Colts might be having their best season since I was born.
Yeah, and I don't understand you mentioned that the Colts have the best offensive line in the league. That plays a big factor into how a quarterback plays. You look at what's going on with Jonathan Taylor right now, by far the best running back in the league. He's having a career year. And I love Daniel Jones more than the next guy. But you can't tell me that Daniel Jones having the elite ability to hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor is what's going to get him the MVP award here. We need to talk about some real candidates here, and where, obviously there's going to be the guys like Mahomes and there's going to be the guys like Josh Allen, but I don't think that Daniel Jones fits into this category like someone like Drake May, right? Drake May has the number 1 completion percentage in the NFL with a 75.2%. That's leading all passers. He's got the top passer rating in the NFL with 118.7. He's got a quality win in Buffalo against the Buffalo Bills in their farewell season at Highmark, which has been something that's hard to do so far this year. I mean, this kid has some of the best reads I've seen in my lifetime. He reminds me of a young Josh Allen. His poise in the pocket, his footwork, he's got capital A anticipation on every throw. He absolutely looks amazing and looks MVP ready in his second season. To me, he's far and away a better candidate for the MVP than even Daniel Jones, than Lamar Jackson, what would have been, than Josh Allen, than Mahomes, than Jonathan Taylor. He is the top candidate statistically, physically, and anecdotally. Everything, the stats, everything looks like the MVP right now for Drake May.
Oh no, you say that Daniel Jones can't be taken seriously as an MVP candidate, I want to bring up that while you said that, I mean, Daniel Jones leads him in every single statistical category besides QBR. I mean, it's just fact. If you say he's not a real MVP candidate, and I just don't know how he wouldn't be going up against Drake May. I mean, he leads him in every category except one in major passing wise, and not to mention he's the best player on the best team in the NFL, and like he's just been the reason that they've gotten this. And then along with that, I mean, the reason why May's percentage is so high, I mean, look at the play call that they're calling for Drake May compared to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has to play such a higher role in the Colts' success compared to Drake May, where Drake May is getting it out to considerably better skill position players at wide receiver than Daniel Jones is. Jones is having to make plays in the pocket way more than Drake May has been throughout the year. So from that standpoint, I feel like Daniel Jones just far and away clears May as the NFL MVP.
I mean, I still can't sit here and let you slander Colts. You're from Indiana. You can't sit here and tell me that these Colts skill position players, the Colts offensive line, are worse than the New England Patriots skill position players. With the exception of Stephon Diggs, the Colts far and away have better tight ends, better wide receivers outside of the number one, a better running back, and everything about the Colts is better except for the quarterback position. Drake May is taking this lackluster Patriots offense and making them something that they were not last year with a different play calling situation. The play calling does factor into it, but when you look at especially look at the Saints game, which yes, it's the Saints, but they were still putting up a great fight. Drake May was letting it fly. The play calling's wide open in these games, and it's not like they're run with Stevenson, and they haven't used Henderson at all. It's been Drake May. It's been the Drake May show the entire time. You just see the way that they believe in him and the confidence they have in him. And yes, the Colts might have that same confidence in Daniel Jones, but they've got a lot more pieces around them. They've got one of the best tight end prospects in NFL history right now with Tyler Warren. I mean, he's been spectacular. You don't think that the safety blanket like that and Michael Pittman and you mentioned Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, who maybe they're not having the greatest years, but they're still very capable receivers, and they're a lot better than guys like Pop Douglas and Booty. They're all big contributors, and obviously another guy in the MVP race, Jonathan Taylor, is a great pass catching back, and you can't have a passing game without the run. He absolutely opens up the run game. They've got some of the best blocking situation in the country right now. I just don't think that with everything, you have to factor in all of the Colts pieces around Daniel Jones to really understand the full MVP picture.
You both make great points. Obviously, both candidates are surprising. Nobody expected the Patriots to be this good, and nobody expected the Colts to be this good. The Colts should be undefeated. They should be 8-0, but A.D. Mitchell dropped the ball at the 1 yard line. But let's move into the Heisman. Jay, who do you have to win the Heisman Trophy?
Well, I actually picked your guy, Will. I picked Fernando Mendoza. I mean, Fernando Mendoza has been absolutely spectacular this year. You look at the stats in the games that he's been able to play, the ones that he's won. They're 8-0 right now, which I didn't expect from Indiana. I don't think anybody expected this from Indiana. They're one of the most exciting teams in the country. He has the number one passing offense in FBS right now. 24 passing touchdowns leads the FBS. He's fifth in yards. He's got a 72.8% completion percentage, which is third in the Big Ten, fifth nationally. This guy's top 5 in just about every single stat nationally and top 3 in every single Big Ten stat. The only guy comparable to him statistically is Julian Sayin out of Ohio State. And, I mean, this guy has the poise. I talked to you before the show. I mean, he really reminds me of a young USC Carson Palmer. The zip, the anticipation on these passes, he is such a poised prospect. And the way that he plays is going to translate to the NFL, which is why I think he's my Heisman guy right now.
I like that you brought up a lot of stats because, in my opinion, when talking about college football, mainly specific from the NFL, I feel like stats in college football are super, super deceiving. You said Fernando Mendoza, yes, he's top 5 in almost every single statistical category for quarterbacks. But look at the competition Ty Simpson has had to face. I mean, Ty Simpson has done what no other quarterback has ever done in the history of the SEC. Ty Simpson and the Alabama Crimson Tide, I mean, listen to these 4 wins they rattled off in a row without a bye week. Georgia, Missouri, Vandy, Tennessee. That is 4 top 15 teams that Ty Simpson has come in and absolutely dominated. The fact that you can throw 20 touchdowns to 1 interception playing that competition is just incredible. And I don't care that his numbers aren't as good as Julian Sayin. His numbers aren't as good as Dante Moore of Oregon. Like, his numbers aren't going to pop out to you as some of those guys who are who haven't had to play any ranked teams, quite frankly. I mean, you look at Sayan and Dante Moore's best wins. What, Sayan's you'd say Texas, Dante Moore you'd say Penn State probably. And Simpson has just been incredible against the statistically hardest schedule in the country for Alabama, and he has been the guy. You didn't think he was going to be. I mean, Simpson was in a quarterback battle up until 2 weeks before the season, and he's turned around. He's top 10 in the country in passing yards, and he's led Alabama to what could have been an absolute train wreck of a season with Kalen DeBoer after that horrible loss to Florida State, where the team really just showed no fight at all. I mean, it was a bad loss from them and could have led to catastrophic consequences, including a second consecutive season missed of the college football playoff. But Ty Simpson has anchored this team down. He's led them to the best offense in the entire nation outside of Tennessee. And from that, I just think he's going to follow up what Bryce Young did. I think Ty Simpson is going to take home another Heisman Trophy to Tuscaloosa and potentially cap off a season that started with firing chance for Kalen DeBoer into a national title season for the Crimson Tide.
I really hate to be this guy again, the look at all the weapons they have guy, but this is Alabama we're talking about. This is a team that year in, year out puts out these first-round talent guys. I mean, we talked about Ryan. We can talk about Ryan Williams all day, whether he's overrated or not in your opinion. The kid's a stud, 18 years old, doing things that some guys in the NFL could only dream of doing when they were in college. Jam Miller looks like a really serviceable running back who will probably go in the 6th to 7th round of the NFL draft. Caden Proctor's a first-round projected tackle. These guys are all NFL first-round picks. And Jeremy Bernard, who came in from Washington to reunite with Kalen DeBoer, has really played his way into a great position in the future with this Alabama offense, whether that is he leaves or even this season in the playoffs. This offense is stacked. And Simpson has a lot of great pieces around him. We've seen it before where Mac Jones had some great seasons. Bryce Young had some great seasons. Once they left college, they really weren't that great, and we really saw who they were as an actual passer. I can't sit here and say Ty Simpson is going to be this world-beating talent and this guy who's going to be super spectacular and win the Heisman, because I'd have a bad track record with Alabama quarterbacks, honestly. I don't want to see another Alabama quarterback win the Heisman, and I don't think that this Alabama quarterback deserves it just based off of all the stats and even the players around him, man.
I don't like having to say what I'm about to say, but Indiana, our play call, when you look at what Ty Simpson has been assigned to do from the top passing offense in the country compared to Fernando Mendoza and what has been called from Kurt Cignetti, which has been, quite frankly, a bunch of RPOs. I mean, Roman Hemby is a top 3 running back in the Big Ten. Elijah Surratt is the #1 pass-catching receiver in the entire country. He leads the country in receiving touchdowns, should be a first-round receiver. Omar Cooper is 2nd in the country in receiving touchdowns. So you say that Alabama's pieces are better than Indiana's. Well, the stats would say otherwise, and what Ty Simpson has been assigned to do from DeBoer has been to throw the ball far more efficiently than Fernando Mendoza has. And also, Indiana's offensive line has been way better than Alabama's. Alabama has had multiple injuries along the offensive line. Jam Miller has had such a tough time getting going. That is why Ty Simpson's pass attempts went up so much against Tennessee, way more than we had seen any other game from Alabama going back to Kalen DeBoer's first year. And it's just really shown the confidence that he's had in Ty Simpson as a first-year starter. Man, he's having to go out and make plays like this, knowing that his supporting cast has not been keeping up to the standard of Alabama. And from that standpoint, I think Ty Simpson is destined for a night in New York that will be brought back to Tuscaloosa.
Now, let's stay on the college route. Will, college basketball, different sport. Who's your preseason national championship contender? Who do you think is going to win it all?
I don't like that I'm going to say this. However, it's going to be boiler up at the end of the college basketball season. I believe that this is finally the year that Matt Painter, after years and years of heartbreak, is finally going to bring a national title home to West Lafayette, Indiana. And when you look at the teams Painter has had in the past, I mean, you have Zach Edey. He was a 2-time National Player of the Year, top 10 pick in the NBA draft, one of the most unstoppable forces college basketball has ever seen. And yet, it is so crazy to think that this is the most talented team Matt Painter has ever been given. You have Braden Smith, born and raised in Westfield, Indiana. 16 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds last year. He was the #1 guard in all of the nation last year. He was a consensus that has not been seen. All-American, first team. He is also a preseason first team All-American. He is in the running for National Player of the Year. You have Trey Kaufman-Wren, raised in Sellersburg, Indiana. 20 points a game, 7 rebounds. And to round it out, you've got Fletcher Lawyer. He's shot 45% from 3 last year. He had 14 points a game. He's from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I think this is the year. This was not seen as a giant recruiting class way back in 2022 when Matt Painter recruited these 3 Indiana-raised men. And now, looking at what they've done under a well-coached system from Painter, this has been a team that has been just raised from the ground up. And, I mean, they mesh so well together. You talk about the chemistry, the 3 Indiana boys. They've got to get it done this year. They know that this is it. It's this year or bust. All of them are NBA prospects. They have to get it this year. And if Painter doesn't get it this year, I just don't know when he's going to get it.
I mean, look, first of all, I have to clear out the elephant in the room. You're an Indiana fan. That's an absolutely sacrilegious take to take Purdue. That's like me as a Providence College fan saying the University of Rhode Island is going to win the national championship. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I understand Purdue's got a great team year in, year out. They're picked for the favorites. But let's talk about Florida here. Florida just won the national championship. They're coming off of a natty. Obviously, they lost Walter Clayton to the draft. They lost their other guard to the transfer portal. What they've brought in and what they've brought back, they brought back their entire backcourt from last year's championship run. They brought in star Princeton guard Xavier Lee, who I was fortunate enough to go see at Princeton last year. Absolutely spectacular player, distributor. And A.J. Brown coming from Ohio to reunite with his brother. I mean, these are some top-tier prospects. Not to mention Boogie Flynn, who knocked out St. John's in the tournament last year with a great performance for Arkansas. I mean, the transfers, what they've got right now, it looks to be a really well put together team, and Todd Golden even said he's going to give his guys in the front court more minutes. He really loves the project that he's got together here, and overall, you look at the stats coming in, these guys are all poised to grow. All guys the transfers who came in, limited roles from Boogie Flynn with Arkansas, which is why he came into, in my opinion, a better program. And he has the green light right now from Todd Golden. Todd Golden told CBS that he's giving him the green light, him and Thomas Haw. And you look at Xavier Lee, a guy who led the Ivy League in assist-to-turnover ratio. He had 5.5 assists in the Ivy League, which was second in the entire division. And yes, it's the Ivy League, but it's still a really quality basketball conference. And he's the kind of guy that I would want to run my offense as my facilitator. He's going to be a spectacular player in the front court, and I expect nothing less from him and this Florida team coming into the season for them to just outplay everybody. I don't expect domination, but I just expect a lot of games that they go out and just win it. Just simple, straight out win it, whether it's close or by 5 or 10. That's just the way this Florida team plays, and that's how it's going to be all season for them.
You two make very good points. You know, you have the homegrown talent in Indiana and the transfer portal accusations with Florida. For everyone at home, vote on who you think won this debate, and stay tuned for our Deckside Chats panel coming up after the break. I'm Tyler Seabreeze, joined by James Costa and Will Gilhooly, and have a good night.
Here today.
I'm Ben.
And who's your favorite athlete and why?
Drake London. He's my boy from Atlanta Falcons. And I like him he's a stud out there for us.
And then, do you think athletes deserve to be paid these large amounts of money or no?
Yeah, I do believe so. They just bring in so much ad revenue for their companies, their league. So, I mean, they deserve what they're being paid for.
Thank you.
Who am I here with today?
Will Gilhooly.
All right. Who is your favorite athlete and why?
My favorite athlete personally is Jalen Brunson. He's the king of New York. That's why he's going to bring us a championship, savior of the city. So that's why he's got to be my favorite athlete for sure.
Yes, sir. Jalen Brunson. All right. Do you think that these athletes should be paid large amounts of money or no?
I think they should because, they earn the money that they make. A lot of people complain about athletes getting a lot of money, but when the league makes a lot of money, it's got to trickle down to the players. The players are ultimately the reason why we're watching the league. So I think because of that, since the league is making so much money, it's only fair that they play the players what they are worth, which ultimately is a lot of money for certain athletes.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Deckside Chats. I am Paul Brignola, joined by Cameron Price.
How you doing?
And Gabriel Garcia.
Thank you for having me.
How are we doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good.
Doing swell myself.
Sweet. So, 18-inning game. Dodgers and Blue Jays. What do we think?
What a crazy game. That might be one of the best World Series games that I've ever seen. Shohei Ohtani, he's doing what he's doing best. He was 4 for 4 with 2 home runs, 2 doubles, 5 walks, 3 runs, and 3 RBIs. He was just immaculate that game.
Yeah. Ohtani he's been an absolute monster in this season. He's been doing great. Home runs. He's been very consistent.
Yeah, definitely making some history here in the postseason. I think that's the first time someone has reached base in all their ABs in a postseason game. And I mean, me myself, I stayed up watching it. I know over here in the East Coast, it was pretty late. But not even just Ohtani. I mean, Freddie Freeman coming up with that big clutch home run.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the 18th, and I remember that home run made me remember 2018, same situation, bottom of 18th, Max Muncy up, 3-2 count, hits a home run to left field. I know Freeman was dead center, but same situation. I mean, 2018 was just against the Red Sox, and they ended up winning that World Series. But here, I mean, the Dodgers are dominating, and we go back. I think the first game, the Jays won that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's some fan speculation that they're cheating and stealing signs, but I mean, I think that's a little much. But I mean, the Dodgers are just dominating this year, and Shohei Ohtani is definitely making a good candidate for MLB MVP.
And back to the Freddie Freeman, do we talk how he's probably one of the most clutch players ever
100%.
in MLB history?
I mean, he's so consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, last year he had that walk-off in the first game against Nestor Cortez against the Yankees. I mean, Freddie Freeman, like, day in, day out, is just be so consistent. And like, I know he's had troubles with some injuries. I know last year was his ankle. But like a guy his age still producing this level of talent is pretty impressive.
Yeah. And I like to talk about an unsung hero, Will Klein. Most people did not know him that much.
I had no clue who he
but
was until last night.
he pitched 4 scoreless innings, 5 Ks. He was clutch for the Dodgers last
100%.
night also. He was popping off.
I mean, just it's you got to give it up to the pitchers in these type of games. I know both teams, they really battled at the plate. Couple like game-tying hits. But these pitchers, I mean, you got to give props. I saw a clip of some staff member in the dugout giving out fruit bowls. Because, I mean, 18 innings, that's got to be, what, almost 5 hours, 6 hours of baseball? That's as someone who's played baseball, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's hard. But, I mean, it's just so impressive what both teams did. And hopefully, I mean, I think they're playing again tonight, and maybe the bullpen might be a little shaky because of what happened last night, but Will Klein definitely helped the Dodgers.
Yeah,
with that,
100%.
Some leverage.
I feel like this is going to be a great World Series,
100%.
in my opinion. But let's talk it over to MVP, NFL. Who do you got?
That's a good choice because there are some people that do come to mind. I want to say Baker Mayfield, but he's looking a little questionable. And I would say Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. But honestly, even though the Bills have been a little shaky, they won against the Panthers, which was very good. But after their game against the Falcons and the Patriots, and same thing with the Chiefs, though they have been getting better, I think it comes down to the both of them. They're gaming against each other this Sunday. When it comes down to it, depending on their performance and how well they do, is when they decide which of the two will be represented for the MVP. I gotta give it to Drake May. They've been doing good. The Patriots so far, they've been no Tom Brady Patriots. But they are rising up the ranks, and they are giving Bills a challenge in the AFC East. So Drake May's my pick.
I do agree with you. I believe Drake May is going to be MVP also. I have to give flowers to Jonathan Taylor, Patrick Mahomes. They've been doing great this season. But Drake May, being in his second year in the NFL, and he's putting up numbers over 200 passing yards every single game this season, you can't make it up. Then he has 15 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, already has the same amount of touchdowns that he had last year. 118.7 passer rating, that is number 1 in the NFL. he's been just dominating defenses. He has amazing awareness, knows when to scramble for a big game. And then he's carrying the Pats to a 6-2 record, the best record the Pats had since 2019. There's something special brewing in New England, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, a couple of glimpses of Tom Brady there for sure. I think it might be a little early for like who is a set MVP, but I'm, as a Cowboys fan, I really like Dak Prescott, and I have this argument that if the defense was better, if the Cowboys defense was up to the standard that we had a couple of years ago, I think Dak Prescott would be in this MVP conversation, and I also think him being a Cowboy doesn't help. That it doesn't help because here in the media, like a lot of people like to hate on the Cowboys, and I understand that. But highest QBR, I think he has He has the highest yards, and he's battled against some good teams like the Packers, the Eagles. I think that Eagles game really set the tone for Prescott and the
I agree.
And the Cowboys.
It was a great start.
It was definitely a good start, even with the loss. But we as the fan base, like we looked at it and was like, okay, this is good so far. I know it went down a little bit against the Broncos and the Panthers, those two losses, but we're just seeing like the fact that Prescott doesn't have as many weapons. I know CeeDee Lamb just came back, but these impressive wins with just George Pickens as his wideout one, I mean, it shows you the level of talent that Prescott has, and he's been consistent. And I think that if we had a better secondary, the record was maybe a little better, I think Prescott could make an argument for MVP. I think like 2 years ago, he was definitely in the conversation, and I think he's having a repeat season of that. But going back to like Baker Mayfield, beginning of the season, I mean, he was the guy.
He was playing.
I saw a lot of videos of MVP chants, and I think he has the most fourth quarter comebacks. And Danny Dimes, man.
Danny
Jones.
What? Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
What a turnaround, man. I mean, as someone who's watched the Giants because the area I grew up in, we saw him struggle with the Giants, and the fans blamed him, and there was definitely some hard times here, some hard times there, but just him going to Indy, I mean.
Yeah, I have
what
a feeling.
turnaround.
I have a feeling it's because he actually has an O-line. Like Giants
100%.
never gave him an O-line,
Yeah.
so now that he has an O-line, he has time to make these deep throws, make all these plays, and he's looking like a quarterback that should have been with the Giants.
Especially with the help of Jonathan Taylor.
And Jonathan Taylor,
I think
who's also being considered MVP as well.
Yeah, he's definitely being considered, and I think their running game is opening up their passing play for Jones, and I think that definitely supports him.
Yeah. I just want to go back to Drake May again. I just want to say his last game stat line, he was 18-24, 282 passing yards, 3 touchdowns against one of the best defenses in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. They have like one of the best defensive line. And again, saying this, as a second-year player, he is outstanding. He is looking like he should have been the number 1 pick instead of Caleb Williams. I feel like he's the MVP. Again, it's too early, but I feel like he's one of the top contenders.
Yeah, I think for like a set MVP, I think we gotta give it like maybe 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Just to see how everybody plays out. But also people are coming back from injuries. Some like players. I know Kittle just came back for the Niners. And so like these big guys are getting their weapons back.
Yeah. It's also been a weird NFL season, so you never know what's going to happen.
I think that this is one of the first times where like nobody's like undefeated. And for a while.
Like we don't know who's good, who's bad.
Yeah, right now I think it's pretty much up to grabs.
It's been fluctuating, even for teams like the Giants, for example. They were able to beat the Eagles, but they struggled against the Saints. They beat the Chargers. But they lost to the Broncos, and they lost against the Eagles recently. So
Broncos are a good team.
The Broncos have been great. Bo Nix, they've been doing great.
But yeah, I mean, my set argument is Dak Prescott. I think if we just get a better defense, get him a little better record, I think people will start realizing that Dak is a high caliber quarterback.
Dak's got potential, and Drake May has also got potential as well. And that is all the time we got for today. Thank you to all the cast and crew here at SHU TV. Have a good night.